So welcome to Sustainability Connect, your number one entertainment plug on Icon Radio. And today's conversation is super exciting. And my guest is already here. Maybe you can just say hi, my name is, and then we can proceed.
Hello.
Yes, my guest is here, and we are going to be speaking a lot about the renewable energy sector in the country, and not just in the country, but in Africa. She is very well versed in matters renewable energy, and she's going to be telling us why Africa is ready to be the next frontier. Actually, we are not just the next frontier, we are the frontier. Mm-hmm. We are? We are. All right. So karibu
sana. We are literally the standard.
I love that. We are literally the standards. So karibu sana. Maybe you can introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and tell us what is renewable energy, because mambo kwa ground ni tofauti huku leo.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So, my name is Manuela Mianze.
Yeah.
You might hear a little bit of an accent, but please kindly, I'm not Nigerian.
Yeah.
I'm from the Central African Republic, but I've lived in Kenya for about 17 years now.
17?
17.
That's a lot.
It is.
Wow.
It is. Yes. I'm just waiting for the Kenyan ID at this point. Well, yeah.
Serekal's idea.
Quick, fast.
So you literally know, if 17 years is such a long time for you to understand the dialects, for you to understand the sheng, for you to understand the culture.
Yes.
I mean, you still have shocks.
Of course. I think okay, at this point, like I was about to measure that in percentage of how my life has been here.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna do that. I'll tell people my age. I'm not ready for that. So, but yeah, I do understand quite a bit about the Kenyan culture, about the languages. I still cannot speak Swahili fluently.
But you understand it?
But yes, for the most part, at least.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it also has to do with the environment. And I mean, we're going to get into that as well. But basically, my job, I have to speak both French and English on a daily basis. So even the people that I interact with, they're not necessarily, people who speak Swahili all the time. So that has also, somewhat dampened my ability to speak Swahili. Yeah,
I can imagine. If you're not speaking Swahili, you're only speaking English and French.
Exactly.
Clearly, you're not going to understand. You're going to understand it, but you're not going to speak it fluently.
Exactly.
Yeah, 17 years is a long time. So welcome to Icon Radio.
Thank you.
We are super glad to have you here. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about what your career has been like and the trajectory of it and why we are here today.
So funny thing is, I actually started my career in marketing. So events planning, a lot of PR.
Yeah.
And when COVID hit, I think COVID was pivotal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It definitely was for me. So lost my job during COVID. And then I started doing translation work. So, just to keep myself going, because I'm the kind of person I like my mind being, juggled all the time.
Yeah.
So, in that, moment of me doing translations, because I was doing translations for various organizations, I landed a contract in a solar firm. And it was a 3-month contract that I was going to do for a specific client in DRC. And when I got into it, it was initially just, translating.
Yeah.
But then my boss at the time would give me other responsibilities. Like, talk to these people, try and facilitate this conversation. And I think also because of my personality, I just stuck in the company. Stayed there for almost 4 years. And then, so that's pretty much how I landed into this space. It was purely by chance or by God's grace. I'd rather say by God's grace. And so very quickly, so I got into the company, like the department I got into was the commercial team. So a lot of sales. I've always been someone who shied away from sales. But so got into it, sales, key account management, strategic partnerships. Business development. So this has basically been my career for the past 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And in today's conversation, we're going to explore how partnerships, innovation, and inclusive business models are powering Africa, especially in the matter of, us gearing towards a cleaner future and a cleaner Africa,
Yeah.
and what it will take for renewable energy to reach households in, because that has been the greatest conversations. I think right now, the government is just looking to see, how do we ensure that every corner of the country is powered? It may not be KPLC, but there is alternative energy, and that is what we're going to be discussing today. So, one of the most important things that we're going to be discussing is about the channels and the partnerships, especially to strengthen that, and how B2B and B2C models differ in the African renewable space. So, people, like we keep saying, every week on Wednesday is a learning opportunity for anyone who's looking to get into this particular space, and more so today's topic being on renewable energy. So, stemming from the fact that you started in marketing and now you went into renewable energy, maybe you can just tell us, how has that transition been for you? Because we still feel like Africa, we are still yet to get there, but you being at the front lines of partnerships and innovation and all that, how has that transition of marketing now into the renewable energy sector been for you?
Oh, it was pretty easy for me, at least. I feel like for a lot of people, I mean, there would be some challenges. But I'm one person who likes challenges,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
So I found myself in a space, because initially the idea that I had about the renewable energy space is just, big solar panel that you slap on your roof and then you
Yeah.
have lights, which is pretty much what most people think solar
I
is.
mean, basically, that is what we know, big solar panels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But there is so much more in this industry. And I was very intrigued. First of all, learning that there are different types of products. It's not just, the big systems that people know. Like even down from the tiny lamps, what we call lanterns or picos, depending on, on the products and on the brands.
Yeah.
There are also, I mean, I like the fact that you mentioned KPLC earlier.
Yeah.
Because there's also an aspect of wheeling, which is basically companies that have solar plants, and they're using, let's use KPLC as an example, but they would be using KPLC, as an infrastructure for them to be able to sell affordable electricity to different organizations, to different people. So for me, the transition was, yes, challenging, but in a very good way. Because then I really got to understand what this industry is all about. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
It's a learning curve. But one thing that I think is the same in in both spheres is the fact that they're all very client facing
Yeah.
careers. So even when I was in marketing, I was basically handling clients and partners. So the nature of the job has not changed as much. It's just the nitty-gritties and everything around the job
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
that has changed.
I mean, from the way you speak, you really love it. And there's something that I've always wanted to understand. Why is it that the adaptation of it seems to be quite slow?
I would say lack of understanding. One, we as an industry need to do a lot of work on communication, on teaching, the end users and even the other companies what this industry is all about, what the products are all about.
Yeah.
Getting people to understand, like what I was saying earlier, the different types of products, how they can be used.
Yeah.
So we need to do a whole lot of work on product usage. That's one. Secondly, costs. There is, depending on the systems, and I mean, we all know that in Africa, a big majority of the people unfortunately live with, less than $1 a day. So we need to find
Come
a
a
way.
bit closer to the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to find a way to bridge the gap,
Yeah.
between affordability and need for these products. Because having been in this industry for 5 years, they are not cheap products, especially when you want quality.
Yeah.
They are definitely not cheap products, and
And for us, cost is such a factor.
Cost is a very big factor.
Yeah.
And even now on the partnership side of things, because we're doing B2B, we're selling to other organizations, we need to convince them
Yeah.
to change their budgets or to have another, added component on their budget.
Yeah.
And there are costs involved as
Yeah.
well, like especially cost of logistics.
Yeah.
Because you're telling a company to purchase a whole container, by the time they've purchased that container, of course they have to deal with duty, they have to deal with different regulations.
Yeah.
In some countries that I've worked with, there are also specific licenses that they need to get. So it's not an easy investment to make. Another thing that I think we could work on as an industry is to make people understand the impacts as far as social impact is concerned. We've worked in places. I think we had that conversation of,
Yeah.
we worked. I've been on the field a couple of times.
When she says field, she's been in African countries, different African countries. Maybe you can give us the dynamics of that. Yeah.
So the field in Kenya is a little bit upscale. I usually compare Kenya as the little Europe of Africa.
Oh wow, we are flattered.
Please be. When you guys are complaining, I'm like, you guys have no idea.
Yeah.
But you go to different villages. There's one particular experience that I had in DRC. So we left just outside of Kinshasa. It wasn't like a deep, part. I can't remember the name of the village.
Yeah.
But it was just outside of Kinshasa, and we needed to take a boat. And I'm not talking about a nice boat.
Yeah.
Like, the makeshift boats, the wooden ones, the ones when you get in, it starts tangling left, right, and center.
And you start
you're
regretting
wondering,
all your life
Lord,
decisions.
is it how it ends for me? And then a couple of us were about 5. And we had a lot of products that we needed to distribute. And the ride was scary. That ride on River Congo was scary.
Yeah.
And but we still got there. We still delivered the products. And then we're talking to these people who really have nothing. And they're just excited, with the fact that this little lamp is not just going to help them see at home,
night. Yeah.
but it will help their small businesses. For example, if one of the people has a shop or something, they can work longer hours into the night, which definitely translates to school fees for the kids, more income for the house.
Yeah.
Black tax is real in Africa.
Oh yeah.
So of course they are going to help out their parents or their relatives. And imagine, this is one family. We're talking about distributing to millions of families. Like currently, the World Bank has launched this. Is launching this fund called M300.
Yeah.
Aiming at aiming at powering lives of about 300 households on the African continent.
Yeah.
So if one family can make this amount of impact, let's say to like 10 people around them,
the
imagine
ripple
if
effect.
we manage to do that for 300 households, how many people are going to be blessed? Wow. So there is a real impact.
Yeah.
And there are so many, communities in Africa that are still not connected to the grid. And so many communities that are suffering because of that.
Yeah.
You have hospitals that don't have electricity. And they're probably relying on a small generator. Yeah. And that's also an added cost because they have to buy fuel. And we've seen what is going on with the fuel cost and everything. So how do you help a small hospital in a village deliver, their services? Yeah. Like, if they're not going to have full access to, to electricity, how is that going to work? Yeah. So there is a real impact with the solar space. Wow. A lot more than people can actually imagine.
As you're speaking, I'm thinking it's no longer just the panels. There are so many other byproducts. Yeah. So maybe you can help us. And you remember me telling you maybe we need to start this conversation, renewable energies for dummies, so that we can now understand what are these, what are some of these products, the byproducts of, that's stemming away from the panels, because renewable, there's electric cars, there's all this, but when you're talking about powering Africa, what specifically are we talking about?
Okay, so I will speak to the industry that I'm very confident about, which is the solar industry.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. There are very many. I mean, there are different components of
Yeah.
the renewable energy. I like that you've mentioned e-mobility,
Yeah.
which is becoming pretty big
Yeah.
in Africa.
Mhm.
I feel like it's still a little bit unreachable or unattainable
Mhm.
for the kind of customers or the kind of end users that we target in the
Yeah.
solar space,
Mhm.
because those are still to some extent a little bit luxury products.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the solar industry,
Mhm.
so one thing is standards. The panels are standard.
Big or small?
Big or small, the
Yeah.
panels are standard because
Yeah.
this is what we use literally to convert the energy from
Yeah.
the sun
Into
into energy
electric.
that can
Yeah.
be used to power lamps, to power fridges, to power TVs, to power fans, to power radios, and even to charge your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to make it very simple, you have the sun rays hit the solar
Panels.
panel.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's hit the solar panels, and then the different captors that are there are going to to transform that into power, which is going to go into a battery. So all products have a battery, even the smaller ones. They do have an inbuilt battery
Yeah.
that will then generate or transform all this into the light that you're going to see.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell. And then, of course, the products are different because then you have like one lamp products, which are the small handheld lamps,
Yeah.
the ones that you can carry everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you have what we call solar home systems.
Mhm.
So or SHS, which is a whole different industry in its
Yeah.
own, because these are basically I don't want to name any brand,
Yeah.
but these are basically the products that you'd see when you go to shags.
Yeah.
You'd see like maybe in your auntie's house, there's this product that has this battery and then it's connected to different bulbs, and then occasionally you'd find another neighbor coming to tell you, oh yeah, I actually have a TV with this.
Yeah.
So these are solar home systems. They come into the home and they're plug and play, and you just plug it in and then you use it. And then you have what people are more people know mostly the inverter products, which are like the big guns. So those are the ones that you really don't need to do to buy extra products. They need electrical knowledge because those are going to be installed in the house using the wiring that is already in the house. So like I said, those are the big guns. So the bigger solar panels,
Yeah.
now we are getting to the big solar panels.
Yeah.
The big solar panels, and then so they basically connect to what you have in the house, and they have a battery as well. And then recently, we've been seeing a different type of product, power stations.
Okay.
Yeah, so power stations are a hybrid. Even some of the inverters can be hybrid, which means you can charge the battery with the grid, or you can charge it with the solar panel. So power stations pretty much work the same way. But they are like smaller products that you can connect your TV, you can connect your fridge.
Yeah.
Basically just a small backup.
Yeah.
In case it's needed. And we all know it's needed. Kenya Power has shown us wonders of late.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But we've come a long way.
We have.
Oh, there were times like you just smell the rain and then everything is just blacked out. Right now I feel like they're more like they're more intentional.
Yeah. I think they're also seeing the competition from the solar space, because there's a lot of people, especially people living in the outskirts of Nairobi or the major cities, really, and people who are living in rural areas and who can afford to completely go off the grid.
Yeah.
So you'd find that these people make the choice to, after the wiring is done in their homes, to just go fully solar.
I've seen a lot of that transitions happening. So thank you so much. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to be discussing more about, understanding the market and the business model and why partnerships are key for this. And I love that you mentioned that funding by World Bank. Probably you can tell us how we need to tap into that. Tap.
Okay.
Oh, we love opportunities.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
Oh boy.
So this
Yeah.
is Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug, and I'm your host Wanjira. Remember, you're streaming us live on www.iconradio.co.ke, and when we come back, we're gonna be discussing more with Manuela Mianze, all the way.
Making my name sound so fancy.
Oh wow! Please, humility should be your key today.
I'm trying my best.
All right, so we're gonna be back. Remember, you can talk to us on all our social media platforms. That is on Instagram, that is Icon Radio, and on Facebook, and I think on X. So karibu sana, and let's do this. See you shortly. I'm your host, Wanjira Maganjo, and we are super excited. The conversation that we're having today is on matters renewable energy and how we are powering Africa. And I love the fact that my guest has been not just Kenyan. She has not just been in the Kenyan market. She's been in the African market. And maybe you can tell us the disparities, not the disparities, maybe the differences, what you've seen. I know you said Kenya is like a mini Europe. Yeah, no, I'm gonna like you said, mini Europe. So let's stick with that, mini Europe.
Oh
So
my goodness. A better one though.
Yeah.
Because we live better than them, to be honest. Yeah.
So, what are some of the countries you've managed to go to and provide your solutions, and what has been the difference with that and Kenya?
So I've worked a lot in the central and eastern region, and also in West Africa as well.
Yeah.
So I've not physically been able to go to all the countries.
Yeah.
But I've been around. So we did a whole lot of work, like I mentioned earlier, in DRC, in Madagascar, Zimbabwe, Liberia. Which other countries? Burundi, Rwanda, a little bit. South Africa, Lesotho.
Is that why you're being humble and saying a couple? That's a lot.
As far as the countries that I've been fortunate enough to manage.
Yeah.
That's.
What's the difference? Like, I know Africa, like not Africa. I know Kenya. The adaptation of it is a bit, especially in the rural and arid and mostly in the semi-arid areas. The adaptation of it can be a bit higher. So when you go to DRC, Lesotho, and all the other countries, what do you see that Kenya has, or what do you see the other countries really, really need for them to be able to be, maybe not at par, but somewhere, still scaling?
So there are a couple of things that come to mind. First of all, you need to understand the aspect of need and the culture of a country before you get in there, before you try to sell anything to them. For Kenya, the grid is very solid. Kenya generally has very good grid, and it's very funny because one of the region where the company I was working for, where we experienced the most sales is actually not northeastern.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not.
Yeah.
It's the Nyanza region. Yeah, western and Nyanza region.
Yeah.
You'd see a lot of sales coming from there. In countries like, so a country like Kenya, solar is a backup. Solar is something fancy to have.
Yeah.
Solar, generally, there are definitely areas where solar is the only thing that they can afford.
Yeah.
Where the need is really high.
Yeah.
But generally,
Yeah.
solar is a nice thing to have.
Yeah.
It's not absolutely needed,
Yeah.
especially when you're looking at the bigger cities. It's not really a need. Then you go to other countries. I would use DRC, but even DRC, the grid is not so bad. It can be bad.
Yeah.
It can be really bad. You can, lack electricity for a whole day, multiple times a week. But the need is very different.
Yeah.
And like I was mentioning earlier, the aspect of culture.
Yeah.
In DRC, they like big things. They like the fancy ones.
Yeah.
You can't come to them and tell them, oh, buy a small product that has 2 lamps.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking at it, and the neighbor has a product that even gave them a fan, a solar fan, and a solar TV.
Yeah.
They want that.
Yeah.
They're willing to, step outside of their comfort zone a little bit to get, to merge value, interests, fashionability, And then you have other countries that are very price and very cost sensitive, like Madagascar. A difference of $10 can make you lose a certain market.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. This is a country where the rates of poverty are very high. So we work in this market, and we have competitors that are offering both value and price, good price, good value, good product. And if you come in and you don't understand that market, and you're like, I want to sell inverters to these guys. Yes, you will have a certain niche that will be able to buy the inverters, but you also need to understand that the mass market is not going to be able to afford buying the inverters. Actually, they'll be looking at this 3-lamp product that maybe costs $10 and this other one that costs $15. In value, they're pretty much the same. Actually, the $15 one is even a better product, but they'll go for the $10 one. Because this is where they're at. When you move to certain countries, I would say one of my most challenging markets was Liberia. Sorry, not Nigeria. Nigeria is an interesting market. Ooh. Nigeria is a very interesting market. And I usually tell myself, if you manage to crack Nigeria, you can crack any market in Africa.
Wow.
You can crack any market, because this is a market where access to energy is a very big problem, even in the big city. Like you'd go to Lagos, you'd go to Abuja, they're really struggling with power, with access to electricity. So the need is high. They have the money to buy. And in most cases, you would find that the Nigerian market, they like buying things cash rather than, it's not a loan. It's not a loan market. It's not like Kenya, where you come to someone and you tell them you can buy your product on pay as you go, which is basically small installments. Someone will be happy. Like, yes, it does work. Pay as you go does work in Nigeria, but they're warming up to it. It's something they're warming up to, because culturally, they buy things cash.
Wow.
So like when you go to different markets,
I think that is the most perfect market ever.
It has its challenges. Because the Nigerian market, you're dealing with people who are very intelligent, who are very versed. You will try to sell a product to someone, they've done their research before. So when you're trying to to be a salesperson, they already know what they want. They already have it in mind. And they're willing to buy, they're willing to put the money to buy it. But then also in certain regions in Nigeria, you also have to be careful with how you position the product, because affordability would also be something very important to them.
I mean, it's diverse.
It's very diverse.
There's extreme poverty, and then there's
extreme wealth.
Both extremes,
Yeah, but you see that in a lot of African countries. Well, Nigeria does have a middle class. So I was talking about Liberia. Liberia, which also is considered as one of the poorest countries in Africa, where a lot of education has to be done on the products. So there, I wasn't just selling products. I was also educating. Well, I am, because the project is still running. But there's also a very big aspect of education, of, education on the products, on how to use the product, on how valuable the product is, on when to use the product, because there's all that as well. So when you're thinking about different markets, you really have to be like a chameleon. Really. Because adaptability is something that is very important. If you cannot adjust, you will never succeed in any market. And you can never treat one market the same way you're treating a different market.
Because I mean, like you said, culture.
Very diverse.
There's culture. There's
finances, and affordability.
There are different factors that will determine whether your product will be flying off the shelf or you'll go back home with your product.
Exactly.
So when you're
Exactly.
talking about stakeholder partnerships and engagements are and how central they are to your work, what kind of partnerships, whether it's public, private, NGOs, are most effective in accelerating this? Because you see now you're not just talking about Kenya, you're talking about Africa as a whole. So
Yeah.
what are some of these partnerships that can help power
Um,
that?
so first things first, from my point of view as someone who has worked as well, basically a manufacturer of products and a seller of products.
Yeah.
The first aspect of the partnerships would be to connect with other companies that have, that have worked in the sustainability space
Yeah.
or who have an interest in the sustainability space. So immediately people would think of, distribution partners who are very important because this is how our products actually get to, to different people. So this is one. So we rely a lot on the private sector,
Yeah.
you various organizations that we can work with.
Yeah.
We also rely on NGOs, different types of NGOs, financing NGOs as well, because funding is definitely a very big challenge for the industry. So, and I mean, if we do not have funding, a lot of the organizations that you see now would not exist. So we need to have partnerships with funding organizations
Yeah.
as well. I mentioned the World Bank earlier.
Yeah.
There are different entities of the World Bank that we
Yeah.
can work with to provide funding, to provide accessibility of these products.
Yeah.
Depending also on the type of projects that
Yeah.
are there. I mentioned wheeling earlier.
Yeah.
So we would also need to work with providers of electricity in various countries.
Yeah.
Basically any person that can move, the goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that can carry the vision.
Can actually see the
That
vision,
can see the
carry the
vision and
vision.
carry the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I love that when you talk about distribution and scaling and impact. I know distribution is I remember you mentioned earlier how it was difficult for you to use a boat.
Yes.
Moving from, I mean, I don't know what city
Yeah.
to in
Yeah.
Kinshasa.
Yeah.
When you talk about distribution, what are some of the biggest challenges when it comes to renewable energy systems and remotes to undeserved
And deserved.
underserved underserved communities? Because
Yeah.
now access, logistics, those are basics in Africa.
Yes. And I mean it's very challenging because you have to think about it in terms of last mile distribution. So the product leaving the warehouse getting to the end user.
Yeah.
And there are many issues. I mentioned logistics earlier. So there's the cost of logistics. There's figuring out logistics. How do I get from point A to point B?
Yeah.
How do I get my products to this tiny island in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
How do I ensure that my products actually get there? There's no road networks.
Yeah.
I'd have to use a boat. For certain places, we're also dealing with high insecurity. Because in Kenya it's fairly safe.
Yeah.
But you are.
I love how you're propping up Kenya. Like you're giving us hope when we feel like a lot is happening. So when you
Yes.
speak like that is really nice.
But I don't understand why people are feeling disheartened with everything happening.
You know
I've been
what?
here for
You're an
17
outsider
years.
looking inside, but us
Yeah.
from the inside looking outside, we're like, yeah.
But I've also lived here for 17 years, full time. It's
Yeah.
not like I've worked and then left. And no, I've lived in Kenya since 2008.
Yeah.
So I've also seen the progression.
Yeah.
I know why people are frustrated because I've seen it.
Yeah.
From the times of Kibaki till now,
Yeah.
we've all seen
Yeah.
how things have progressed
Yeah.
in the economy. So as much as
Yeah. Kenya is fairly safe. Yes,
Kenya
you
is
were
fairly
saying.
safe. Kenya is fairly safe.
Yeah.
It is fairly safe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work to be done. Things are not what they used to be, but Kenya is fairly safe.
Yeah.
It is. Because having seen other, places, other countries, talking again about, road networks. In Kenya, you can easily just get into your car and travel to another to another town.
Yeah.
You can spend 5 hours on the road and it doesn't really feel like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And you've covered, maybe like 400, 500 kilometers. In certain countries, that will take you days.
Oh.
Yes, because there are no roads.
Yeah.
There are no roads. Like, again, talking about Liberia. So we've been working on this project since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And you would find that it's been raining a lot. The raining season is ending.
Yeah.
But you would find that my partners would have to get the products to, small villages. And they're telling me, oh yeah, it's a 200-kilometer drive. It's gonna take us 2 days. And I'm sitting down and I'm like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And getting the products there, and that's where logistics is very important. Getting the products there, they would use a truck to one location.
Yeah.
After some point, the truck cannot proceed.
Yeah.
So they would have to get like different bikes. Like they would use bikes to get the products to certain region, to certain places. After this point, the bikes cannot proceed.
Yeah.
So they would need bicycles. And yes.
Wow.
Yes. So logistics is a very, very, it's a pain point. Yeah, we'll definitely have to figure out logistics. Another thing, so in terms of costs also, would have to look at the cost of logistics.
Yeah.
Another thing that is somewhat tied to logistics is the lack of infrastructures, like road networks, for example. This is something that I think our governments can work on.
Yeah.
Our African governments need to work on, and it's also an aspect of partnerships. So even as an industry, we need to think of ways where we can work with local governments to facilitate some of these issues.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, last mile distribution is something that we rely on. Getting the products to the end user is something.
All factors considered, solar system, the renewable energy market is more ripe in the very arid area, not just arid, but very remote areas of the country where, because in Kenya we're still suffering from bad roads.
Yeah.
We're still suffering from, how the access to that is what is what we're calling the government to really look into and just support that as well. Wow.
Exactly. They need to look into it.
All right. So we're going to take another short break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about financing policy and the ecosystem enablers. So stay tuned. You do not want to miss this because opportunities are here. So this is Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug. And this is Sustainability Connect, your show where we educate, we create awareness on matters to do with sustainability. And today we're talking about the renewable energy sector in Kenya. And like I said earlier, we are looking at how renewables are scaling in Africa. We are looking at how they're driving social impact, where we're talking about jobs, access, and the climate aspect of it. And, Kenya being a leader in matters of renewable energy, we just want to understand where are we. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this short break. Tuko katika kipindi cha Lala Salama, so we're just a couple of minutes away into the top of the hour, and I am loving the conversations today because now we are understanding. Actually, this is like renewable energy and conversation for dummies, because I keep saying that because I feel like I'm very validated for anyone who does not really understand the market. That is one. And then secondly, for sales and partnerships professionals who are still trying to navigate to understand different markets. They're like, why is Nigeria not working? Why is Liberia not working? Why is DRC not working? Probably it's your product, because probably you're going to DRC with small products and they're like, you know what? We love life.
We love life.
And we live life. And we live large. And then you're just taking for them small products, and they want the big, the massive, the beautiful products. So understanding the culture, the product, the people there, really, really important. So these are some of the things that some of us really ignore when it comes to partnerships.
Absolutely.
When you're asking about, we're talking about earlier about the vision and the culture of this and the mission of these companies. for you to be able to understand not just the company culture, but also the people who you're selling the product to
Yes.
is really, really, really important. So before the break, we were talking about, the distribution and the scaling and the impact of it all. But right now, as we're transitioning now into the financing part of it, so what role does financing frameworks, like let's say debt, pay as you go, I know you mentioned it a bit earlier, play in making renewable energy viable to scale in the African markets?
Speaking about pay as you go,
Yeah.
because I mean this was mentioned earlier, and I feel like maybe we need to mention it again.
Yeah.
It's basically helping people to afford
Yeah.
the products, because pay as you go work like tokens. You pay for the products,
Yeah.
and then you pay like a certain amount of tokens so that you are able to use the product. It really helps, because let's say, for example, someone wants to buy a home system that will cost them 30,000 shillings. They do not have the 30,000 shillings. They earn 50K.
Yeah.
So now you're telling someone who lives in a remote-ish area that they need to chuck a whole 30,000, out of the 50K salary.
Yeah.
it
Or
won't
even lesser.
Yeah, yeah, or even lesser. Or depending on the type of product.
Yeah.
But yes, even lesser, because there are some for even 10,000, 7,000. Yeah, but you're telling that same person, instead of making that big investment, they can be paying for their product over time. They just need to maybe put a deposit of 5,000.
Yeah.
5,000 is manageable.
Yeah.
They would probably have to save up, because maybe they have a family, so they can save up for like 2 months. Put down their deposit, and then they use the product. As the name says,
Yeah,
they
pay
pay
as
as
you
they
go.
go. They use it as they go.
Yeah.
So you would find that a lot of solar companies have positioned themselves as financiers because of the pay-as-you-go system. Because honestly, if you look at it, it's a loan that they're giving out.
Yeah.
And when they're giving out this loan, think of it as asset finance.
Yeah.
Right? So when they're giving out this loan to their end users, they're financing the product. So they become a financing institution as well. And this is very interesting, because you see that happening mostly on the B2C side of things.
Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with B2B, then that's a different conversation to have altogether. Because then you'd have to look for different financiers and financing institutions.
Yeah.
I hope I'm still on track with the question.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then when it comes to now partnerships and funding, this is, like I said, this is a whole different ballgame altogether. Because the easiest thing to do for manufacturers of solar products would be to partner with an MFI. Easy. They already have structures.
Yeah.
Or would be to partner with the bank. Well, basically banking institutions.
Yeah.
It's very easy, because they already have, the infrastructures and the loan books and all that. It's just a matter of convincing them to open a new loan book, a solar loan, for example.
Yeah.
But then once that is done, it runs itself.
Yeah.
You provide the products, last mile distribution again to their end users, and then they provide the financing to their end users.
Yeah.
And then the other side of financing that we are getting into are, the big subsidies. So you'd find that certain governments offer subsidies, but you also find that bigger organizations, I mentioned the World Bank earlier, it's one of the biggest financiers in this space. They also do offer funding and different types of subsidies as well that a lot of people can tap into. And getting into those funding drives, like I like to call them, is a little bit more difficult than getting into a partnerships with a banking partner. I mentioned M300 earlier. And like you'd asked me how can we tap into that. So M300, like many other subsidies, and again, I'm not promoting the World Bank or any of their products. I am speaking of what I know.
Being nice.
Yeah, but many of those subsidies, I mean, you can there is a website. It's called the Get Invest website. So Get Invest is also a financier. So on the Get Invest website, you can actually see the different types of subsidies available in different types of countries for what products. If is it tier 1, tier 2, tier 3? So basically, is it smaller units? Is it SHS?
Yeah.
Is it bigger projects?
Yeah.
Is it productive use products? Is it clean cooking products?
Yeah.
Like, so when you look at the different subsidies and the different criterias, you will know how you can tap into that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So the information is out there.
The information is out there.
So why are we not very quick to adapt, to take it up?
I think the information is out there, yes, but you need to have an interest to know where exactly to look, because it is out there, but it's out there in the sustainability space. If as a radio presenter, you don't have any interest, with sustainability, you will not know where to look. So you'll be somewhat, in a different space. But I think it's the same for any industry, really. It's interest based, but the information is out there.
Information is out there.
It's out there. You have the countries, you have the amounts for some of them. For some of them,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
You have the amounts of subsidies that are being offered. I mean, it's out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that, because now I need people to go and look at that and just understand where the money is at, and for them to be able to, at the end of the day, it's not just producing product, it's producing quality product.
Exactly.
Because you may get funding and then you're like, we can actually do a lower version, like second, they're called second what? Not generation, they're called second grade type of products.
Grades,
you're like, if you were doing top tier, you're like, let's reduce, and then you start doing, you're almost doing counterfeit products of your own products.
But the good thing is with this industry is that it's highly regulated.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't just sell solar products. I mean, I'm not talking about, again, I'm not dissing.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing, but we're not talking about the Chinese products.
Yeah.
We're talking about companies that have invested in R&D. We're talking about companies that have taken their time to build a product and to sell those products.
Yeah.
So all products that are worth buying need to be Verasol certified. And if your product is not Verasol certified, there is a very high likelihood that even the funders you are trying to target will not give you that fund.
Oh.
You need to show certification. There are quality checks that are being done. Of course, there is a certain reputation that you need to have.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not going to name any names, but we know those companies in the Kenyan space, for example. When you're thinking of, smaller solar product, SHS, we know those companies, who they are.
Yeah.
We know their names. We've seen their billboards. We've used their products, But such companies, when it comes to now getting funding, certification is a very important thing.
Oh, I mean, it is for across all sectors. Like it's like we cannot operate in this country without policies and regulation.
Exactly.
Okay, of course, there are people who still don't adhere to them. And they still run around and do their business. And the beauty about it is like the industry is well regulated.
Absolutely.
So should there be substandard goods or counterfeit goods, which of course there are. But we are able to now say this is where actually who regulates? Is it NEMA? Is it who's doing all this policy regulation for you guys?
It varies depending on the countries. There are different regulators, depending on the countries. But like I mentioned earlier, Verasol does the certification under Lighting Global. So you do have like global organizations that certify. And then when it comes to now policies, so again, partnerships, we need to work with governments to put up certain policies that are going to help, solar distributors and solar companies and just renewable energy space in general, to be able to run our businesses in a way that is not only sustainable, but that also is impactful.
Yeah.
And I mean, we need to get the job done, and so also and also
Very true.
regulations. Because let me also not speak in a utopic way.
Yeah.
We need to get our money back.
Yeah.
Because these are businesses. We need to be profitable at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So the ideal world would be government supporting, to put up certain frameworks that will make it easier for us to do our job, and would make it safe for the end users.
Oh, wow. So with a push for net zero, ESG, carbon markets, how is the renewable energy sector in Africa aligning with these global trends, and what opportunities do this create locally?
I was praying that you weren't going to ask me about carbon.
Like, how are we going to talk about renewable energy and talk about carbon?
It's a very dicey conversation.
I know.
It's a very, very dicey conversation because the whole issue with carbon emission is a very noble, very, very noble cause.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is understood. Even in the the renewable energy sphere,
yes,
we're still trying to understand what this is. Like, what are we talking about? Carbon credits? What is this? But basically, I think maybe I can start with just explaining, in like carbon credits for dummies. Basically, what it is just companies being paid for reducing their carbon emissions.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And it comes, with a greater goal. And I think it's important for the environment in general.
Yeah.
And this is way beyond the solar space.
Yeah.
It's important for the environment in general because, I mean, we live in this environment and we need it to be safe for our children, our grandchildren.
Yeah.
And even for us. And the fact that we were given an incentive to keep our environment straight, safe, is a bit of a wonder to me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, a lot of companies need to understand their impact. They need to understand their impact. They need to understand how they affect the environment around them. Yeah. And I feel, in my small years of experience, I feel like every company needs to have sustainability goals. Yeah. Each and every company, and even beyond receiving carbon credits. Because, it's easier for someone to be like, oh, yeah, if I manage to, to save 5 tons of CO2, then I get my 5 carbon credits, because it's basically 1 credit per ton. Yeah. It's very easy for them to think about it that way. But the fact that it has to be incentivized, I think we need to start a different type of conversation.
And to remove the incentivization bit of it, I don't think so.
We are cooked. Because then
you can't. That is what is driving the agenda.
Exactly. It is. But I think we also need to go back to the drawing board. And I mean, right now we have a lot of big corporations that are focusing on being, on making their money. Yeah. But they all started because they saw a need and they wanted to make an impact. Yeah. Like the 2 solar companies I've been working with for the past 5 years. Yeah. They started because there was a need. Yeah. And they wanted to make an impact. But as time grew, it all became, solely about making money. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying that this is the actual case, but yes, they have to be profitable. They have to remain profitable, making impact and be profitable. Yeah. But this is not the case for a lot of other solar companies. Like I mentioned earlier, the Chinese products. Yeah. Do you really think they care about the environment? They really don't, because they're already producing products that are substandard. Yeah. They know that these products are going to be obsolete in the next 1 year. Yeah. And then we are going to be faced with issues of e-waste that people are not thinking about. Yeah. And then that's another whole industry by itself. And that's a whole other industry by itself. Yeah. Because what are we going to do? Yeah. What are we going to do with obsolete batteries? Yeah. What are we going to do with obsolete plastic? Yeah. Because most of these products are made with plastic. Yeah. What are we going to do with all this? So we really need, as an industry, we really need to go back to the drawing board and kind of, yes, carbon credits are important. Yeah. Yes, it's important. But we also need to ensure that the products that we are giving, the impact that we are making
Yeah.
is way beyond just receiving freebies because we are saving the environment.
I love that. I love that. So we're going to take the last final short break. And when we come back, we are winding it down and looking ahead and, have strategic insight on that. So this is Sustainability Connect on Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug. And I'm your host, Wanjira Maganjo. And remember, every Wednesday, we are doing what we call environmental awareness, social and governance awareness for everyone who does not understand or is in this industry and would really want to understand. So we're going to be right back, and this is Icon Radio. Having great conversations on matters to do with ESG, sustainability, climate action, what else? Everything that has to do with climate. And today's conversation is on the renewable energy sector and how Africa can, be very, very, very strategic in the partnerships so that it can actually be very development oriented when we're working together. Together we are stronger and together we go further.
Yeah.
I think there's a Kenyan saying that says, ukitaka kwenda haraka, enda peke yako. Ukitaka kwenda mbali, enda na wasi.
It's true. It's not.
You understood that?
Yes.
You're truly Kenyan.
I am.
Yeah?
I am. I have a Kenyan name.
Oh.
Yes, I was given a Kenyan name. So
Which
at this
is?
point, Acheng.
Had to be from the Lakeside region.
Had to be from the Lakeside. They have adopted me wholeheartedly, and I have accepted. Yes. They just
Doesn't
need to
suit you, but it's okay.
It's okay. Let's just go with it. They know my love for fish, and they decided, this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So thank you so much, Manuela. It's been such a great conversation. And now that we're winding it up, and we've looked at how Africa is ready, and we just need to understand how different cultures, how different factors influence decisions about adapting renewable energy in the different sectors. It can be the solar energy sector. It can be the what is this called? Electric vehicles. E-mobility, yes. All these different factors play a huge role in the decision making, not just for individuals, not just B2C, but also B2B. So right now, as we're winding up, what technologies or business models in renewables do you believe will be game changers in Africa in the next 3 to 5 years?
Technologies.
Yeah.
I think we need to improve battery storage.
Yes, because a lot of e-waste
is
the batteries.
Yes, it's the batteries. So we definitely need
and
to...
the lithium is...
lithium is good. Lithium is actually, well, depends which lithium.
Yeah.
But lithium ion is good.
Yeah.
You'd find that most of the companies now are lithium based. Have lithium based batteries, which is more sustainable, more durable. But then if you're using, if you're looking at companies who use batteries like lead acid, just as an example, you already know you have a problem because they're not going to be durable. So we really need to improve on battery storage, hybrid systems as well. We're seeing that happening more and more with the inverters and how do you call them, and the power station. You also have certain manufacturers that have the smaller batteries for the solar home systems that are hybrid. It's a growing thing. So I think that's one of the areas that can, that in terms of technology that we can definitely look into. I'd written notes.
You had better.
I had better. And then we also need to think about mini grids. Mini grids linked to productive use. So those are your irrigation systems. Those are refrigeration systems. Because another thing that I think we can support in the industry Another area of support that we can have is food security. So I have been fortunate enough to work with a lot of farmers as well, and they would always ask, "Can the batteries power a solar pump? Can it power this product and that product?" And if we can, as Africans, if we can all partner in a way where we tackle all our problems, I think it would be great. So yes, we do need to focus a little bit more on productive use of energy, how we can ensure that our products are going to power other products, to provide employment, to provide security, to provide, like I mentioned, food security. There are different aspects that we can think of, different technologies that we can put in place, just to ensure that the products are not just going to power lights, but they're actually going to power lives. What else can I think of? I think, issues to do with data. Issues to do with data. This is an industry that carries a lot of KYCs. Because obviously
KYC meaning
well, in short, in a very simplified version for dummies, it's it's an acronym. It says know your customer. So so KYC basically it's customer data. Yeah. That was a close one. So it carries a lot of data linked to the customer. So how do we use and manage this data? Do we just use it to know, oh yes, my company has sold 5 million products in the last 2 months, or do we use it to watch patterns, to watch trends, to know the markets that we have, to identify, okay, for example, this whole conversation that we had earlier in terms of funding, how do they pay for their products? What are the payment trends? How do we make it easier for them? Or how do we adjust or, create a product that is going to, maybe improve accessibility or improve adoption? How do you manage data? And we also need to think about real-time metering as an industry as well, because you have also a lot of customers that will tell you, I want to know exactly how I'm using my product. I need to know where the energy is going.
I want to also monitor shelf life. How long is it gonna last?
Exactly. Because like a lot of the products all the products that we have an advisable runtime. Like, you can use it maybe like for 5 hours in a day. But the customer would like to know, if, for example, on my battery I plug my phone, how long do I have? Because this is part of customer education as well. Because we keep on telling them, if you use your product to charge your phone, it will reduce, but they don't know reduce to which point. And there is one specific company that I can think of that has done that very well, because even on the interface you can see this is the amount of energy that is going out, this is the amount of energy that is coming in. This is when you're plugging this appliance, this is what you're losing. When you're plugging that appliance, this is what you're losing. And you mostly see that with bigger products, with the inverters, but this company has done it on the solar home systems.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Even in the lists, the smallest.
Exactly. It shows you the minute you plug your phone, it automatically reads how much power is being consumed. And it tells you, okay, you had 2 hours before, now you have 1.5 hours to use this product.
Oh, wow.
So I think those are technologies that we really really need to work on.
Wow.
For this industry to remain relevant in the next 5 to 10 years.
And I think in Kenya we've really come a long way, because we have seen different I know of a company by one of my good friends, and they have solar powered refrigerators that they do for what do you call them, mini fridges that you use to transport medicine, so that there's accessibility to and
Yeah.
preservation of the medicine in remote areas where electricity and access is
No,
quite
that's
difficult.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we've come such a long way. And I think also one of the companies that just won the Earthshot Prize, and they're just using power, they're just helping farmers being able to retain their products to remain fresh from market to source, from source to market. So we have come a long way.
Yeah.
But like you keep saying, it feels like it's a very nice to have until you go into the remote areas where they're really struggling.
Where there's actually a
So
need.
infrastructure is something that infrastructure accessibility is something that we still implore the government to really look at, because those are some of the things, like how do ballot papers reach the
Exactly.
interior parts, and then there's no electricity,
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
so some of these things. And if you were to advise a company or an NGO seeking to enter the African renewable markets today, what would be your top 3 pieces of advice you'd give them? Boom! Culture.
I've said it already.
Yeah, understand
Know the market.
Yeah.
Know the market in depth.
Yeah.
Know what their needs are. Know where to sell and what to sell, where you're selling it.
Yeah.
Because then again, we talked about DRC earlier, but if you're looking at DRC, the eastern part of DRC is very much like East Africans.
Yeah.
They are very practical people. They're like, how is this helping my life? Do I need this? Fine, I'll get it.
Yeah.
When you go back to my side, to the central, to like the western part of DRC, northern part of DRC, closer to the Central African region, it's basically I want it because I need it, yes, but can I have a bigger one? Because I need to have a bigger one.
Like, please. My 65
exactly.
television does not go well with a small
with 2 kVA. What do you mean you're giving me a 2 kVA system when I can have 5? So yes, know your markets. Know your market in depth. Yeah. Understand, which is still somewhat linked to knowing your market, but understand the frameworks, the different frameworks, the different laws that come with working in that specific market. Partner with the government if you have to.
Speaking of, how easy has it been for you in the different countries?
Let me just say some markets have almost made me lose my hair.
Can imagine.
Yeah, some markets are very difficult. Some markets are very difficult in terms of regulations. Inspection laws. I talk a lot about DRC because I've worked a lot with DRC. But when it comes to every product that needs to enter the country, their inspection process is very thorough. It's very tough. It's not like in other countries where you're just shipping a product and then you just clear and you get your product in. No, like for them, if inspection isn't done from the port and is not done when it arrives, you'll pay heavy penalties. Very heavy penalties. So you need to understand that as well. In Liberia recently, there was there were, for lack of a better word, some sort of discounts on goods that were coming into the country. And the government was about to stop that. So which meant for my partners, that meant a higher cost. So now you have to think of a way of getting those products in the quickest and shortest way possible before the new law is implemented. So you always need to be ahead. You need to think ahead. You need to think ahead. You need to have as much information as possible. So back to your earlier question, partner with the government if you have to. Build strong, very strategic, but strong partnerships. So be it with, private sector, government, or NGOs, or even local communities, build partnerships. Thirdly, be impact-driven. Be very impact-driven.
Well said. Well said.
I know we are chasing the bag, but be impact-driven. Because if you're not going to make an impact, you don't have a market. and that profitability that you're trying to gain, it's not going to come because your product is adding no value. There are other people selling the same thing. What is different about you and about your product? So if there's no impact, just pack up and go home.
And impact is driven by probably a financing model. What else?
So there is the financing model. There is the value it brings to the end user. You know, cost prices. You know, what do you do for the society? There was a company that interacted with, and they used to have the CSR drives where every month they will choose a local community and just give out products. But as they're giving out the products, they're also training the young people into becoming solar, either solar technicians or solar agents. So you're giving products, but you're also giving them skills. You're teaching them how to be entrepreneurs, because this is how it starts. You'd find that maybe in a lot of 20, 5 of them are going to totally grasp it and they'll hit the ground running. And maybe out of those 5, you probably have 1 or 2 CEOs of the next biggest corporation in the country. So think ahead.
Think ahead.
Think ahead.
I love that. And I love that when you're talking about trainings and capacity building, we are talking about green jobs in Africa.
Yes.
And this is just one way of ensuring. In the companies that you've worked with, how has that been something that is at the top of your goals, or is that something that you've been adapting as you go?
I think there was a lot of adaptability, and there's still room for growth.
Okay.
Yeah. The previous company I worked for started a whole academy.
Oh.
Yes. They started a whole academy. When they got into the inverter space, they started a whole academy, which is working very well in Kenya. And I need to attribute that also to a former colleague of mine. She's done an amazing work building the whole installer channel and building, the whole academy. Like I look at her sometimes and I'm like, girl, you're going places.
Oh, wow.
So she's poured out her heart, and thankfully the company also backs it up. And she's worked with even the B2C sales channels to ensure that this is working. This is actually working. So I think a lot of companies still have a lot of work to do as far as capacity building is concerned. Because a lot of companies still train people to know how to use the product, but they're not giving more than that.
And then I remember recently I was at an event, and one of the people was complaining that they were looking for certified solar experts, and he was talking about, was it 9,000 or 16,000 in a country of almost 50 million people, and it was like, the disparity
is huge.
Why is it that people are not? I know we have this quote unquote that Kenya we're quite ahead, but we're still not very there yet.
There's work to be done.
Yeah, there's still more work to be done. But why is it that we have a lot of more, we can't call them crooks, but uncertified
to some extent.
uncertified professionals, and why is certification in Kenya very difficult to access? Now that you mentioned that an academy was started, and that is something that needs to be discussed.
I think people also shy away from technical jobs.
Oh, didn't see that coming.
People shy away from technical jobs because the academies are there, the schools are there. Just look at it away from the solar industry. How many people do you know are engineers? And how many people do you know have studied business administration?
Very few in engineering, a lot more in business administration.
I think that's where the answer is. We just need to encourage our young people to understand, to also shift our own culture. To understand that just because you're going to learn about electricity doesn't mean you'll be on Njoroge being an electrician in your neighborhood. And even if you are on Njoroge who is an electrician, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of culture shifting and mindset shifting that needs
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah. I mean that's the reason why we do what we're doing as sustainability champions when we're talking about moving from one caravan one aspect of green jobs. We're telling them green jobs are not dirty jobs.
They're not.
And money will not write itself. Oh, I've I've just been gotten from waste management. Money is money.
Yeah.
And anyway, you're able to, like, your hands-on experience and hands-on skills is something that nobody can take away from you.
Exactly.
That mindset shift is what we're really, really looking forward to seeing more people adapt to. So one, you've said know your market. Two, you have said, what did you say?
Partnerships.
Partnerships. And the third thing was,
Let's see if you've been listening.
yes, let's see. Know your market, partnerships, and adaptability. Is it? Yeah, I think so.
In a nutshell.
So, finally, what gives you hope about the future of renewable energy in Africa, and where do you believe your work and partnerships will make the biggest difference?
Young, innovative talents. I think we are in.
I think I'm watching a lot of videos when I'm just agreeing with you.
It's okay. Yeah. But young, innovative talents, we are blessed as a continent to have the Gen Z.
Yeah.
Because these guys think quick, they think, big, and they want to do more.
Yeah.
And they really think outside the box. So as much as we castigate them for their ways, because yes, it's hard to understand them sometimes, but we have talented people. And what we can do as millennials is to provide as much support as we can provide to them.
Yeah.
We have various people who are now getting into the tech space. How can we talk to, the young people in the tech space to, do something for the solar industry or for the renewable industry as well?
Yeah.
How do we merge the two? How do we get there? So I feel like there's a lot of hope when it comes to the kind of talent that we have.
Yeah.
We're also seeing a lot of communities that are embracing clean energy and sustainability for various reasons, but it's being embraced. So this is a very good place to start. And another thing that I think also gives me hope is the way more companies are merging profitability and impact. Like we're seeing that happening more and more.
A lot more.
Seeing, yeah. So it's a bright industry. There's a lot to be done.
Yeah, a lot. And this is just, I feel like we're just scratching the surface level because there's a lot more that needs to be done.
We are.
And like you said, it is, I think Gen Zs are just a breed that is more skills oriented.
Yes. They don't really care about the title like we do.
Like for them, books is, it's good to study but they want to be out there doing things. And that's why you find a lot of young people a lot more getting into skills that are making them work. Because they also talk a lot about mental health, and they feel like being outdoorsy and doing things in the outside makes them happy.
But they're also very informed.
And
they do read books.
The information that they have. Let me tell you the pieces of information that they have. Besides TikTok.
Exactly.
I think TikTok is rated like #1 library.
The thing is, what do they do with TikTok? In our generation, we had Facebook. What did we do with it apart from posting pictures?
Nothing.
But
for them, they're using these platforms to just make a lot of money. So I think for us, this is more of a wake-up call that the market is ready. And we need to push our youngsters to more hands-on skills. Because I think that is where the disparity is are we able to go out there and work? Because this fallacy of go to school, get good grades, go to university, get a blue collar job, is not working.
It's not working.
It's not working. And I think that is why a lot of millennials are really frustrated, because we have a lot of more mind skills.
Yeah, we're not practical enough.
She said it better than me. But thank you so much, Manuela. It's been such a great, amazing conversation, because now we keep saying, for dummies, today we feel like we've now upgraded to toddlers.
It's a good place. It's a good place to start. Thank you
for
so much
myself
for
and many
having me.
others who are still trying to navigate and to understand when you talk about renewable energy and sustainability and how companies are adapting into this. Now we have a blueprint.
Yeah.
Now it's now a matter of how do we work
Let's
around.
build on it.
Yeah, now building on it actually.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. It's been a great mid-morning from 10 a.m. till now. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us. Any last words?
Just go out and be great.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
Yeah.
Go
Thank
out
you so
and be
much.
great.
Oh,
Thanks.
wow. I love that. Go out and be great. Just go out there and conquer.
Just conquer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's conquered Africa.
Conquering still.
She's still conquering
Still
Africa.
conquering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this conversation. And remember, this is Sustainability Connect, and we are powered by Sustainability Champions Network. And we are super, super glad that these conversations are what are keeping us, keeping us more engaged on matters of sustainability. Up until next week, God bless you. There's a link that will be shared out very shortly after this, on this conversation, just in case you missed it or you do want to hear more about the M what?
The what?
The World Bank, the M what?
M300.
M300. The M3. It sounds like James Bond.
It does. It does. I think they're quite inspired. I kid you not, those are millennials that found that name.
I know, eh?
Yeah.
What's your name? M.
M.
M300.
What is the mission? 300.
I think that's it. The Mission 300.
Yeah, actually, the name is Mission 300.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I love that. So, if you want to listen more to this conversation and some of the nuggets that, where to tap into funding, into skills and all that, this is where you need to get tuned into. So, up until next week, Wednesday, I've been your host, Wanjira Maganjo. God bless you. God increase in you, and see you, and blessings.